Today I'm building a tractor for our meat rabbits, just for the younger grow outs. It's only going to be 4 foot by 6, which isn't very big, but it's because I was given a piece of this wire here and it was only a little over 12 feet long. So I cut it in half, and then to make the big holes a little bit smaller, I'm going to overlap it like that. And that way the bunnies can't get out, but the grass and everything can still poke through. And yeah, so we do have meat rabbits. I haven't done a video on them yet. Stella, are you coming to help out? She's always such a big help. Not very big, but it'll get the job done. And we'll see what it looks like when I'm finished. I got my base finished, and you can see the nice even spacing from the overlap. To close the gap that the bunnies could potentially get between and stuck or trapped, I just laced together with a length of stainless steel wire and just twisted it around. I was going to mention in the first clip why I'm building this out of logs instead of lumber. We do have some lumber laying around, but I prefer to save it for projects that you can't really use anything else for, or where it's just easier to use proper lumber. We have no shortage of trees here, so anything I can build out of trees, I'm going to build out of trees. It's free, lumber isn't. And I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with the rest of this. I'm kind of thinking an A-frame. Oh, there goes my drill. Putting holes every so often in the long sides, and then putting in poles that come together at the top, kind of like a teepee, and then with a ridge pole across, and then my wire over top of that. Probably make it 6 feet high. The only reason for that is for my back. The tractor that my son and husband built for me back at the old place is only something like 3 feet. And I tell you, when you're going in there to grab the birds on processing day, it really is murder on your back. So I'm going to make this nice and tall so that when I have to go in and fetch bunnies, I'm not bending over and crouched and whatnot. And anyway, can't wait to see how this turns out. It looks like these evergreen thickets have a purpose after all. Let's see, I've got right here, a little bit thick there. Probably about there is good. My frame is on the narrow ends, like the skinny ends of my poles are 2 inches and the thicker ends are like 3. So round about an inch is probably what I'm looking at. And then they gotta be about 6 feet tall. Why is this not focusing properly? And let's see. It's still 1 inch way up there. Yeah. When trees are growing this close together, they're competing for light with each other, so they get really, really leggy. Instead of having like a really wide base that tapers very abruptly towards the crown. In this kind of a growth situation, they just go straight up and up and up and up and up and up and up as fast as they can. So not a lot of taper in these at all, which is great. Makes them really good for building, actually. And yeah, I have some poles cut. This one might wind up becoming the ridge pole. It's only going to be 5 feet long, the part with the wire. This one, I'll see how it looks when it's in. 3 of the trees I had to discard. Let's see, where's my marks here on this one? Well, the 1.25 inches, which is what I'm doing for the thickest part of these poles, would have been around here, but you can see I don't have 6 feet there. And with how bushy this one is, it was getting plenty of light and not enough competition to get that really even thickness all along the length like these guys were, or most of these guys. So I'm gonna start drilling some holes now. I'm gonna see what it's like as far as strength with only 3 poles per side. And if I don't find it's not sturdy enough, I'll go out and cut down some more trees. I'm gonna be using a Forstner bit for making my holes. Yeah. I don't know, folks. What do you think? Probably the most crude thing I've ever built. But I kind of like it. Just didn't use any screws up at the top, just some nylon string. It's a little too thin for screws, I think. If you're curious about the 5 feet, there's a reason for that. The wire that I want to use is 5 feet wide, and I know this was 4x6. So then I was like, well, I'll just use whatever 2-foot stuff I have, but all those rolls, they're pretty old and mangled and not in great shape. And then I thought, well, you know what? What if I build a 12-inch deep box on the end where the bunnies can get out of the weather? Then I can get the 5 feet for the wire. So that's where the 5 feet came from. Next step is finish cleaning this up and then get the wire on it and then figure out a design for the box and then figure out what I'm going to do for a door here, whether it's going to be solid or who knows. We'll see. I got the wire done on the main part of the frame, and just adding the wire and filling everything full of staples really sturdied this up a lot. I may actually remove that one single cross brace that I put in on that center upright. Now I'm working on the box at the back, and it occurred to me to just do a loose board for the bottom. It just sits on these 2 cross braces here. And that way, if it ever gets dirty, I can just push it out, haul it out, clean it off. Or if it's really, really nice weather to where they're not going to need to get themselves up and off the wet ground, I can remove it all together, and then they'll have all that forage underneath the board as well. So it's coming along, and again, probably the most crude thing I've ever built, but it's not too shabby. It's not too shabby. Like, I'm shaking this one piece and the whole thing's moving with it. So it's working out quite well. I actually didn't even secure these poles into the main the bottom frame here with anything. It's actually, they're all just held in just from the wire being stapled down and like holding them down, pulling the wire tight, and loading it full of staples. So it'd be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see how well this holds up and how long it lasts. The box is built. I just need to put some hinges on it. I was gonna go with ordinary hinges. I don't think they will work though. And I did put a board across the top. Here, we'll see it better from the front. I did put a board across the top to have something to mount the hinges to. But I don't think I'm going to be able to use the normal metal ones without doing some funky cutting or repositioning and what have you, because watch, if I try to lift this up in this fixed position, it's going to catch right there, and that leaves me with a useless gap. I can't do anything with that. So what I've got happening right now is I've got a piece of old leather. Our first pair of pigs, I did experiment with tanning, and most of it wound up becoming dog chew toys, but there's one piece left, one scrap left. I've got that soaking right now because it's pretty much rock hard. And I'll see if I can make that flexible, and I'll just cut a couple strips. And that will also help with waterproofing this little bit of a gap. Where is it? Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap there where water could get in, or snow, or what have you. Bitey bug. Sorry. We'll see what happens with that. But I kind of like the look of this. Just used mostly slab wood from when there was a mill here. This and these 3 boards are conventional 1x6 lumber, but the rest is all hemlock. Yeah, I like it. And there's that detached shelf, removable shelf. Nice thing about this too is when it's done, it can also be used for chickens. So I got my hinges put on. The leather's nice and soft after soaking all night, but it's gonna get really, really stiff again as it dries out. I'll just have to keep working this to keep it, keep the leather, or make the leather stay flexible, I guess. But it works. It works. Looks kind of neat too. It's finished. Built the door yesterday, and it's actually quite sturdy for only having a framing screw up through each bottom corner, and then 2.5-inch screw through the top there. No fancy hinges, just rope. So let's see. Let's set this door up in place. And I'm going to probably have to do something a little bit better than this. But for now, I think it worked just fine. Paying attention to what I'm doing, not what I'm shooting. So, get that tied shut. And one thing I don't like is I've got this gap down here. Only the smallest of bunnies will be able to get through it. And I don't plan on putting any really little ones in here. So I guess it'll be okay. But a couple more finishing touches. I want to put a little hook on here so that when I raise it up, I can just clip it onto the wire. And swing this door back open. Yep. Yeah. Definitely crude. Yeah, it looks like it'll work just fine though. And good height. I can actually stand up inside it. My head's touching the wires, but yeah. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, I'm going to go haul this off onto a patch of fresh greens And next we'll see how the bunnies like it. Turns out that this was actually really difficult to drag. I didn't think it would be that hard. So what I did, I scavenged a couple of pieces of rounded wood. Oh, sun. You know when you don't quite hit dead center and your axe glances and chips off a piece of wood like that. So just found these in the wood pile, put them on, and hopefully they'll work well as skis. I'll be giving that a shot right now. Well, I didn't make it very far. My skis helped a little bit, but didn't really make a whole lot of difference. One, I think that one's a girl. I just checked them all, and this black one here is for sure a male. The brownish one here on the right is definitely a girl. And the other three I'm on the fence about. They don't really quite know what to think. These are the remainder of our oldest two litters. And word of advice for anyone interested in getting into rabbits, do wear gloves and a shirt. I'm bleeding all over. I really am. A couple of these guys were really calm to pick up and handle. Two of them were not. Stella wants desperately to get in there and play with them. Funny girl. Ah, what do you think? What do you think, Bun Buns? I know you guys have your bellies full already still from breakfast. Yeah, don't be chewing that. I'll have to go grab a couple of their chew toys and hang them in here. We've got lava rock or lava blocks, whatever you want to call them. And I also cut maple sticks that they really enjoy. Do we have happy buns? We got happy buns? Yeah. The little Flemish cross lady is definitely happy. Oh, is that fresh grass, not dried hay? Yum. What do you think, Stella? What do you think? I think I'm gonna go have a quick rinse under our outdoor shower here and clean up the scratches on my body. And it's also a bit of a cooker, so it'd be nice to cool off a little. Oh, Stella, you're gonna stay there, aren't you, all day long? She has actually taken a protective position against these guys. Very interesting. Hey, my buns. Did you have a nice day outside? Hi. Time to go home to bed. Easy, little one. Easy. That's a good boy, girl. Oh, you're a big one. Oh my. Hi. No, running away. Easy. easy. That's a good boy. Yes, I know the spot was wet, but it was a nice hot day. Good for it. Oh, oh, easy girl. Easy girl, easy girl, easy girl. Easy girl. Hi. You're pretty. Watch the claws, watch the claws. No claws. I know, I didn't put gloves on. I didn't put gloves on. Ah. All right. So they did really seem to enjoy their day outside, having some fresh forage. I'm not going to trust them staying here overnight just because a couple of our guard dogs are not familiar with the rabbits just yet. And they do still have a degree of prey drive. And they will be able to get through this. So for that reason, they're going back into the colony with their families for the night, and that's what I'm going to do until I can be sure that all of our dogs are safe with them. I know Stella is. Stella's golden. Arya will be the next one, the next easiest one to train to them. Nina is coming along with the poultry. She's starting to do really well, actually. But the monkey, 3 years old, and he is still the most hyperactive puppy ever. So we'll see what happens with him. And he is like our main night shift dog. Like if no one else is out, he is out. So until he is proofed with bunnies, I'm not having any of them stay out in this tractor. The wiring is primarily just to keep the bunnies in and also to protect them from aerial attacks by eagles. That's my biggest concern as far as predation. Some of the dogs aren't quite on top of the eagle situation. So it's important that all of our small animals are protected from them if they are unable to fly, such as our chickens, the guinea fowl, and the ducks. All right, have a good night, folks. And I'm sure these little ones will be happy to get back to their families for the evening and into a dry house and have their supper kibbles. Huh? You looking forward to your supper kibbles? Oh, freaking mosquitoes! Yeah. Okay, I go take them to bed now.